Hey guys, it's Jessie. I'm just going to jump right into it, so let's just talk about the Syrena trilogy. So the first book in the Syrena, I hope I'm saying that right, Syrena trilogy is Of Poseidon by Anna Banks. And of course this whole trilogy is by Anna Banks. I read this book like summer 2014, so I can't really give it a review because I don't really remember all that happened. Like, I remember it, but not good enough to give a good review on it. But I know I did like it. I'd probably give it like a 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5, something like that. But just to give you a little synopsis on what it is. Galen is the prince of Syrena. Since he lands to find a girl he's heard can communicate with fish. Emma is on vacation at the beach when she runs into Galen. Literally. Ouch. Both teens sense a connection, but it will take several encounters, including a deadly one with a shark, for Galen to be convinced of Emma's gifts. Now, if he can only convince Emma that she holds the key to his kingdom. Dun dun dun. If you follow me on Instagram, I compare this a lot to the Percy Jackson series because it's sort of childish, but it's a fantasy, so it's like fun to read. It's a cute, fast read is what it is. And I technically can't really compare it to the Percy Jackson series because I haven't read the Percy Jackson series, so I can't really compare them, you see? But that's what I've heard, like what I've heard of the Percy Jackson series. It kind of reminds me of this in a way, just of like the childish aspects of it, which I know people hate Percy Jackson series being called childish, but it's like a younger teen level, if you will. But yeah, that's what I think of this, and I did love it. I know I gave it a 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5 stars on this, nothing lower than that, I know that. But yeah, if you like mermaids and romance and a lot of drama, start the series. The second book now, which is Of Triton. And I just finished reading this book like last week, I think. It was a pretty quick read. It's like not even that thick of a book. It's like barely 300. It's not even. It's like 200 something pages long. If you haven't read Of Triton yet, you're still in Of Poseidon, don't watch this if you want any spoilers, but if you do want spoilers, continue on. This story is about Emma has just learned that her mother is a long-lost Poseidon princess and now struggles with an identity crisis. As a half-breed, she's a freak in the human world and an abomination in the Syrena realm. Syrena laws state all half-breeds should be put to death. As if that's not bad enough, her mother's reappearance in the Syrena world turns the two kingdoms, Poseidon and Triton, against one another, which leaves Emma with a decision to make. Should she comply with Galen's request to keep herself safe and just hope for the best, or should she risk it all and reveal herself and her gift to save the people she's never known? I like this book. It starts off right off the bat of where Of Poseidon left off. They know Emma's mom is the Poseidon princess, and they're going back to the kingdom Galen Toraf. They're going back to the kingdom to get Rome, which is, he was supposed to mate with her, but she went disappearing. You would know that if you read the Poseidon book, Of Poseidon. But yeah, so Emma, Rachel, and Raina are at the house waiting for their arrival and have Emma's mom hostage. Once Emma's mom gets a hold of the chloroform, with Raina, for instance, she is something Raina, but Emma's mom kidnaps her because you guys know that Emma's mom thinks that Galen and Toraf and Rome are bringing people to arrest her and take her back to the kingdom, which half of that's not true. They don't want to arrest her, but they do want to take her back to the kingdom. Oh my gosh. Emma's mom is such a spitfire. She's like, fierce. Like, she will not let anybody or anything get in her way. When she does something, she does it. With no hesitation about it. It kind of bothered me, or it kind of, like, irritated me when Emma was with Nalia in the car that Emma didn't really do anything. Like, she just sat there and went along for the joyride when they keep getting farther and farther away from Galen, Toraf, Grom, and Reyna. Like, she's supposed to be stalling her mom, and I know the first time to stall her didn't work out, but that doesn't mean just sit and relax. Like, you're not helping the situation by just going along with what she says. But anyways, when Rachel basically drag races them, or whatever it's called, and then, well, actually, no, they didn't drag race, because Emma turned the steering wheel and they went to the ditch, and Rachel followed. I loved Rachel. She was such a nifty one. That's weird for me saying. There's not that much romance between Galen and Emma in this book, which I understand because they're trying to get something together here, and it's not really about them, it's about getting Nalia back to the kingdom, and also showing the kingdom's Emma, the half-breed. And I think his name was Jagan. He really annoyed me. Like, how stupid can merman people be when they should know that the gift of Poseidon is to help you get fish to eat and survive, and not dolphins to do little tricks. Like, how stupid. They should know that. That's their kingdom. That's what they should know that. It felt like in the book when they were like saying how some laws needed to be changed and some laws need to stay, I just felt like they were picking and choosing what was right for their certain circumstances. Like, they're nitpicking the law, basically. When Toraf all of a sudden starts acting different, I wasn't really sure if he was just playing the whole time, which I didn't think he was. Because Toraf is such a good friend to Galen. He would not just, like, turn on him in that instant, but he was so good at being, like, he was good at acting it and showing that side of him. And then Reyna goes off on her little tangent with Toraf. I love Reyna and her Spitfire attitude. She is so funny. The one thing that I found kind of, like, disturbing and, like, was when Grom made it with Paka, who's the fraud, who pretended like she had the gift of Poseidon. So he was already mated once they found Nalia, and since Nalia was supposed to be mated with Grom, and Grom's already taken, and it goes down to Grom's brother, Galen. And Nalia mating with Galen, and Galen is like in love with Nalia's daughter, and they're a thing. I felt like that was kind of incest in a way. And it kind of still is with the story, because, like, Grom and Galen are brothers. Nalia and Emma, they're mother-daughter. And Nalia is going to be mated with Grom now, and Nalia is Galen's sister-in-law, basically, so that would make Emma his niece. So he is mated with his niece now. See how, well, that's how I pictured it when they were talking about it, how, like, in the hotel room, they were talking about Grom being mated to Paka now, so Nalia has to be mated with Galen now. If, you know, Nalia didn't go missing, nothing. It'd still be kind of weird, though. You see, like, I guess just keep your mind away from that aspect of the story, but still, I'm like, but it's still a good story, just keep your mind away from that. The ending of this book was so sad because Rachel dies. And I felt really bad for Galen because he took it really hard, which I understand, but that was just a really sad ending to this book, and I feel like Anna Banks could have just like left it with this book. Like, I felt like it would be okay as a duo series. I know I'm not saying that right. A 2-book series, you know what I mean? A duology, is that what it's called? But I feel like it would have been fine if she just left the story where it was with this. I really like this book. I gave it a 5 out of 5, and I do still recommend like continue this series if you're on or going to be reading onto this book and you're finished with Poseidon. I do recommend continue reading the series because I do really like this book too. And now for the last book in the Syrena trilogy is of Neptune. And I recently just finished this along with of Triton, but this opened up a whole new chapter to the Syrena series because, like I said, of Triton could have just ended there, but when we meet Neptune, this whole new kingdom with all half-breeds and Syrena and humans like coexisting together, living together, and from the way this ended, it seems like it's gonna have another book to it because they didn't get to the Poseidon and Triton kingdoms to talk about the Neptune kingdom, which is all half-breeds. If you don't know what this book is about, it is about Emma, who is a half-human, half-Syrena, and her Syrena love, Galen, need time together, alone, away from the kingdoms of Poseidon and Triton. Emma's grandfather, the Poseidon king, suggests the two visit a small town called Neptune. Neptune is home to both Syrena and half-breeds alike, but Emma and Galen didn't sign up to be peacemakers between the ocean-living Syrena and their land-dwelling freshwater counterparts. They didn't bargain for meeting a charming half-breed named Reed, who can barely disguise his feelings for Emma. And they especially didn't expect to find themselves in the middle of a power struggle that threatens not only their love, but their ocean kingdoms. So like I said for the other books, if you haven't read this book yet, or you're on the second book finishing it, don't watch it any further or else you'll get spoiled. Fair warning. So, when they say, this is totally at the middle beginning of the book, but when they say that there's gonna be like there's gonna be a struggle like on their relationship between Galen and Emma, because along comes Reed. To me, I didn't really think that anybody could come between Galen and Emma because they have such a strong bond together that I'm like, no one can compare to Galen for Emma. Like, even the reading along with the book of how Reed was so flirty, and Emma was just being friendly back. Because Neptune is a town of half-breeds, which she is one of them, and she was just trying to get to know her people. Also, but then there's this flirty guy who's also half-breed and shares a gift of talking to fish. She's just trying to be nice, and he just keeps on flirting. Like, I knew that Reed wasn't really a problem compared to Galen, because Galen is freaking hot, but I always knew that Emma would choose Galen because they've been through a lot together, and Reed just seemed too, like, childish in a way to me, compared to Galen, who's much more mature. And to me, the town of Neptune was kind of, not sketchy, but like, off in a way. Like Reed's dad, Redder, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I feel like they're just acting dumb. I feel like the town was acting dumb when Galen and Emma arrived. Like, especially Reed's father. Like, when he was talking to Emma about stuff, excuse me, that is going on, and then towards the end with what's happening with Tyrant. Like, I felt like he knew, like, of Tyrant and what he does and what's going on, but he wasn't letting on that he knew. I don't know, I just kind of got that vibe from him that he knew, but he was just playing. I felt so bad for Galen taking all the abuse from Tyrant. Oh my gosh, from Tyrant, and Emma keeps like hanging out with Reed while Galen is missing, but she just thinks that he stormed off somewhere to their fight. Like, in a way, I felt like Emma was kind of being selfish in a way because she knew that Galen would not like her hanging out with Reed alone, but then again she would think about that their fight, that maybe they're over, but she kept double guessing herself. Like, we're over, we're not over, you know what I mean? She kept double guessing herself, and I felt like she just needed to take a step back and just look for Galen, because that's who she came there with. Even though she wanted to, like, find out more about her people, the half-breeds, like, I felt like that was kind of selfish of her. Like, her knowing Galen, she should have, like, went looking for him, because he would never leave her like that for, like, a 3-day base of being missing. Like, I feel like she should have, like, knew better about Galen. Like, he would never just leave her like that and not, like, answer her calls. I like how when Toraf is supposed to come and, like, get Emma from being hostage in the town hall basement by Tyron, and Galen escaped, and he's also looking for Emma. I like how they just casually meet up at a dumpster, Toraf and Galen. It's on page 273, it's like Galen ducks behind a dumpster just as a couple pass on a sidewalk in front of him. He has to get to the city hall without being detected, but not exactly sure where it is. I knew I smelled something, a voice says behind him. He turned to Toraf. How long have you been there? Galen hisses. Still, he's never been so glad to see his friend. I was here first. You almost stepped on my foot. Not very observant, me now. Have you found Emma yet? Toraf shakes his head. She's not at City Hall. I already checked. How did you know where City Hall was? Toraf shrugs. I asked someone. They're pretty friendly here. It's like, you're kind of going undercover, but you ask, like, just people in public walking by. But then again, Toraf, they don't know Toraf because he just got there. But I like how Galen's, like, sneaking around, like, looking for Emma in the town hall. And while Toraf just goes up and asks a random person where it is, like, okay. And he's like, and then when they find Emma, it's like, Galen massages his temples with his fingers. And have you already gotten yourself a hostage? Nope, that's what I was in the process of doing before you almost headbutted me. You can't just take someone out in the open in the middle of the town for the trade for the hostages. He's like, I was going to call a cab and get them to take me to the picnic area where everyone else is. Boom, hostage taken. What's with your face? I hope the other guy was... When Toraf said that, I just pictured, like, a mic dropping, like, boom, what now? You know, like, when Toraf said for the hostages, I was going to call a cab and get them to take me to the picnic area where everybody else is. Boom, hostage taken. You know? I like how Toraf thinks, like, I feel like he thinks outside the box, beside everybody else. Like, he comes up with the most simple things that you would never think of. And he just does everything with, like, a chill vibe to him. He's awesome. You never would have thought that Toraf and Reyna would be mates. Like, Toraf is the chill, funny guy, and then Reyna is the spitfire, badass girl who you don't want to mess with. I really liked this book. I gave it a 5 out of 5. It was so good, and I'm pretty sure there's gonna be another book to the series, since where it left off with Neptune and Poseidon, Triton, the kingdoms, now finding out about Neptune. the half-breeds and the Syrena and the humans getting along. I feel like there's gonna be another book to this series, but I don't know. I really liked it, and I do recommend the series if you're into mermaids and romance, and it's really funny too, and a lot of drama. But yeah, I recommend this. I give it 5 out of 5. And let me know what you guys think about the book or the series. And another thing I want to mention is I know my YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram name keeps changing. I'm just trying to find my name. Like, I know that sounds weird, find my name, I have a name, but like my username, my booktuber, blogger name, you know? And I feel like I'm settling on the one that I have now on my Instagram and Twitter, which is Jessyswondrland, no E for the wander. I don't know, it just fits me. Like, I feel like a wonderland is like, it's like your space. Like, I can have whatever I want in my wonderland, and yeah, it's like my comfort area, I guess you could say. So that's what I feel like I'm just gonna stick with my username for Jessyswondrland on Twitter and Instagram, but I feel like I'm just gonna keep my YouTube name Jessie G, or I might switch it to Jessyswondrland. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, I'm sorry for like switching my name on you guys all the time. If you've noticed, if you haven't, then disregard this. But yeah, just wanted to keep you in the loop. So that's it. I hope you guys like this video. Like and subscribe if you want more videos by me. And I'll see you guys later. Bye!